Hi guys, welcome back. Today we'll be continuing from our previous lesson that was about the level of organization, and we discussed about four levels. Those were atomic and subatomic level, molecular level, organelle and cell level, and then the last one was the tissue level. Today we'll discuss about organ and organ system level first. What is an organ? Different tissues, more than one type of tissues combine together to form an organ. More than one type of tissue. And every single tissue that is present within an organ will perform its particular function. And those functions will then combine together to form the function of an organ. Every single tissue will have their own function. I will describe it with the help of an example of stomach. Two major tissues that are present inside the stomach are epithelial tissues, which are also known as glandular tissues. And the second one is the muscular tissues, right? Both of these tissues have their particular function. Epithelial tissue is responsible for the production of gastric juice. And what is the function of gastric juice? It is responsible for the breakdown of particle and thus starting of the digestive process. Digestion को start करने के लिए this gastric juice plays an important role in stomach. Whereas muscular tissue, as the name is indicating, these are the smooth muscles that are present inside the stomach that forms the stomach. And what is the function of a muscle? It is responsible for the contraction and relaxation, right? Contraction and relaxation. You must have noticed when you do some exercise, the muscles are contracting and relaxing, and there is the production of heat. Same is the process that occurs in the stomach. When the muscles present in the stomach start contracting and relaxing, they result in the formation of heat, and then that heat helps in the process of digestion. The breakdown of those particles, the food particles, will be accelerated, and this heat will then facilitate the process of digestion. Now see, there were two tissues, muscular tissues and epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissue perform its own function, whereas muscular tissue perform its own function. But collectively, both of these combine together to facilitate the process of digestion that occurs in the stomach. So this is how an organ is formed. Now these organs combine together to form an organ system. And the most common example of the organ system that I'll be giving today is the digestive system. Now, not just the stomach is responsible for the digestion of food. Stomach is not the only organ that is responsible for the digestion of food. Whereas there are a number of organs that are associated together and they will perform the process of the digestion. It starts from mouth, then it leads to the food pipe that is known as esophagus, then towards stomach, stomach goes towards the small intestine and then to the large intestine and then to the anus or rectum, from via rectum towards the anus. Also liver and pancreas perform its role as well in the process of digestion. So these are all the organs that will combine together and they will perform a function and they will result in the formation of an organ system. And the digestion will start, partial digestion will start from the mouth and then it will go toward the stomach and half of the digestion will occur in the stomach and certain substances will then be digested in the small intestine and then further process will occur, and in the end the completion of the digestion will occur via the combination of all of these organs. So these organs combine together to form an organ system. Okay, so this concludes this level. Now comes the individual level. organ systems, different organs and organs system combine together to form an individual, a complete individual. They will result in a formation of a complete organism, complete living organism, where all of the organs and organ system will be coordinating with each other to perform a simple function. I'm moving my hand. This movement of my hand is controlled by the brain, by my muscles, by the nervous system, which is sending the message from the brain towards my hand to move it. Okay? So this is how number of organs and organ system coordinate with each other, एक दूसरे के साथ coordinate करते हैं, and then they will perform a particular function. For example, if a man is running, not only the limbs are going to perform that function. His respiratory system, lungs, will facilitate it. His heartbeat will fasten. It will facilitate it. It will provide the blood for that purpose, for that particular function that it has to perform. Right? The movement of our limbs, the muscles that are present, these will all coordinate with each other to perform a simple function of running. So all of the organs and organ systems will coordinate with each other to just perform a simplest function. Okay? This is how an individual works. After the individual, the next level is the population level. There are a few terminologies that we need to understand when we are talking about population. The first one is the species. Now, what is a species? You have to remember, species is the particular type of living organism, same type of living organisms. These are the same type of living organism. There are two major things that makes up a species. The first one, they can interbreed with each other. Interbreed with each other. Now, what do you mean by interbreed? They can sexually mate with each other. The first thing is they can interbreed or sexually mate with each other. Human beings can sexually mate with each other. Similarly, cats will sexually mate with each other, right? The natural sexual intercourse that occurs within the living organism, that will make up a species. It needs to be natural. So the first thing is the interbreeding between each other. That will result in the formation of fertile offsprings. What? Fertile offsprings. Now, what is the meaning of fertile? Living organisms which can reproduce. That can reproduce. ऐसे ऑफस्प्रिंग प्रोड्यूस करेंगे which can further reproduce. They can further sexually mate with each other and can produce the next generation. So this makes up the species. Same type of living organisms which can interbreed freely among each other and can produce fertile offsprings. This what makes up a species. The second terminology is the habitat. A place where different living organisms are living together, that is a place. उसको habitat बोला जाता है. When a similar species occupy a habitat, they will combine together to form a population. Human population, population of cats, population of dogs. The species needs to be same. Common example I will give of the human population in Pakistan. In Pakistan, in 2010, suppose, was 173.5 million. Okay? This was the human population in Pakistan in 2010. So this makes up the population level. Same species, living together in a habitat. This will make up the population at the same time. The timing needs to be same. This will make up the population. Here, the time was the 2010. The total number of population was 173.5 million, and the species was the human, right? And the habitat was the Pakistan. This makes up the complete population level. Next level is the community level. Now, population, different populations will combine together to form a community. Different populations will combine together to form a community. Community can be of two types. It can be complex and it can be a simple community. When we talk about a complex community, for example, a forest, any community where the number of individuals are so high that it is difficult to calculate them. In a forest, number of living organisms are there, right? Animals, plants, microorganisms, insects. Number of different populations are living together within the same place, and that forms up a complex community, a pond community. As you can see from the diagram, fishes are there. Number of microorganisms are there. Aquatic plants are there. Number of populations are living together within the same place. It forms the complex community. Now, what is the meaning of a simple community? If there is some log of a tree, a log of tree here that is fallen onto a certain place, a log of tree that is present in a certain place. उस log of tree के नीचे जितनी space होगी, the smaller area within, under that log of tree, उसके नीचे भी कुछ populations lie कर रही होंगी. It can be insects, microorganisms, smaller plants, right? So the community which can be easily calculated, the population within a community which can be easily calculated will be known as simple community. Now the biotic and abiotic factors play a major role in the community level. Biotic meaning living, whereas abiotic meaning non-living. In our environment, the abiotic factors are earth, water, soil. These are the abiotic factors. Whereas biotic, obviously animals, human beings, birds, number of different biotic factors are there. So in a community, these both biotic and abiotic factors play a role, and any change in the biotic and abiotic factor will causes a change in the community, will affect the community. Any single change in these factors will directly affect the whole of the community. So this was all about the community level. This moves us toward the last level, that is the biosphere level. The last level is the biosphere level. Now, what is biosphere level? All of the communities that are present within the earth, they combine to form a biosphere level, where living and non-living components are interacting with each other, meaning biotic and abiotic components are interacting with each other. That will comprise of the biosphere. For example, atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere. Atmosphere includes air, hydrosphere includes water, lithosphere meaning earth. These will all combine to form a biosphere. In other words, we can say where there is zone of life on earth, that place will be known as biosphere, and mind it, there is life everywhere on Earth in the form of microorganisms. So every single place where the abiotic and biotic components are interacting with each other, that will result in the formation of the biosphere. This concludes the level of organizations. There were total 9 levels from the basic to the highest level. And I hope everything is clear. If you've got anything you need to ask, you can ask in the comment section. Would love to hear back from you. Thank you so much for joining. Till next time, stay safe. Bye bye.